Hi, I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington, and Brad is out doing some other things today, so I'm going to be doing all the interviews. Couple disclaimers before we get started. Nothing in this video is an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW, nor FPIW action. It's simply a public service to meet and greet the candidate. So I'd like to welcome Steve on the program today. Welcome, Steve.
Well, it's good to be here. Thank you, Brian.
Great to have you. So our first question is kind of three parts. Tell us, obviously, your name's Steve, and then what position you're running for, a little bit about your family, and what experiences you have.
You bet. Well, I'm running for county commissioner in Pend County. It is the northeasternmost county in our state of Washington. And interestingly enough, it's in the shape of the number one. It was also inaugurated or started in 1911, so 1911. That's great for marketing. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to being a part of that marketing campaign. So my wife and I have been married 48 years. We have three adult children, six grandchildren. That would be five granddaughters and one grandson. And our youngest son is 25, so we might have some more grandkids coming along in the future. We'll see.
Excellent.
It's been a challenging race, but I have learned a lot. And I think God has been very gracious to us throughout the campaign to make sure that we keep our focus on what is truly important.
Excellent. So what would you say is your primary promise to the public if you are elected?
Well, the primary thing is, the county commissioners are in charge of the budget, and there's some kind of crazy things going on in the budget, in my opinion. I had no idea until I looked in the 2023, 2024 budgets that we had nearly $5 million that was sent to us from the federal government for the benefit of a mental health um, clinic. And 2.6 million of that goes to wages and another 600,000 goes to benefits. That surprised me. So I need to learn more about what's going on in our own county. On top of that, my opponent, in the opinion of every voter that I've spoken to, has had a conflict of interest. Specifically, he was negotiating a contract with the Port Commission, and the port director paid a contribution to his political campaign at the time they were negotiating the agreement. His wife also sits on the board of that port commission, and the commission came back after several months and wanted to have their contract increased from $105,000 a year to $200,000 a year. Everybody, I've just given them the facts, and they all go, well, yeah, that's definitely a conflict of interest. So, and in fact, the county has a document that talks specifically about that. It's actually called the Governance Coordination Manual.
Mhm.
And back in 2009, the commissioners at that time wrote the following. They said, any board member having a conflict of interest or possible appearance thereof, whether by business, association, or personal, shall make disclosure at the appropriate time to the county prosecuting attorney for advice on recusal when an issue may hold the potential of a conflict of interest claim. Well, this is so obvious to everybody else except my opponent. I don't know how he can continue to support the fact that there was no conflict of interest.
Hmm.
It's odd to me. And the other thing is we want our county to wind our way out of the Growth Management Act. The GMA might work for big counties like Pierce County and King County, but it doesn't work for a little pioneer county like Pend County. We're being crippled in our construction and building and bringing families in. We want to have good paying jobs. We want to have low cost housing for workers in our county. I mean, the biggest export we have is our graduates from the three different high schools in our county are all exported out of our county for work. So there's a number of issues that need to be addressed, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Excellent. You mentioned a couple things that differentiate you from your opponent. What are there any other things that you would want to talk about?
Well, actually, there are some things where we definitely agree. We're both Republicans. Both of us are Christians. I think that with policy and politics, we probably would vote very similarly.
Mhm.
He's a fine man, good businessman, but it takes more to be a public servant than simply having the gravitas of information. He certainly knows his job, and I'm sure that I'll quickly learn the job as well. I'm a very quick study on everything that I've ever done. But yeah, there are some things that we disagree on, but the voters are not going to see a huge difference in how my opponent and I vote.
Okay. And our fourth and final question is, what did you learn during the primary campaign that you are applying positively in this general election?
Well, I'll tell you a humorous story. We were at the Pend Oreille County Fair, which is in Cusick, Washington, and I actually taught for 14 years in Cusick High School. And I was told, you got to get your name out there. You got to get your face in front of the people. And so they recommended that I take my door hanger, which is right here. They take my door hanger and put it on the windshields. Well, I thought that I had ordered these with a wax coating so that they would repel water. So I put my little face so it would face the person,
Right,
this was looking in on them on their windshield.
right.
But what happened was the rain attacked it, and my image was adhered to
Oh
the
no.
outside of some people's windshields.
Oh no.
So you can't always take the advice of other people about how you should do things in a political campaign. So I have quizzed a number of people, but then I finally make my own decision. And the final decision has always been in this campaign, what is the right thing for our voters? And that's the way I want to serve. I want to truly be a public servant, and I want to teach our county employees that when one of our residents, one of our voters, or maybe they're not even a voter, but they live in Pend Oreille County, they are the reason that we have a job.
Mhm.
Let's treat them with respect. Let's make sure that we answer their questions and help them to the best of our ability.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure. I know it's short, but hopefully, as we get this out to thousands of people, it'll help you out a little bit.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless you. I'm Brian Noble with FPIW. Friendly reminder, nothing in this video is an endorsement of the candidate nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW or FPIW action. Like we like to say around here, go out there and defend and advance biblical values in the public square. God bless.